Hi YouTube, how you guys doing today? We're gonna be taking care of our rabbits. Well, she's not a rabbit, she's just my daughter. Hi Felicity, say hi. Well, she doesn't like the camera. Well, here's our rabbits. So here's Coco. Hi Coco. Coco, cause you're brown. You want to see Coco?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What's this one called again? What'd you call it? Thumper. Hi Thumper. I don't know the rabbits' names.
Coco's a girl, Thumper's a boy.
Yeah, he gets two girls.
And Skittles.
And then you got Skittles because she's skittish. Hey Skittles, how you doing? We're gonna be cleaning their potties today. As you can see, we have a 4-cage system. Right now, there's only 3 rabbits. We're expecting to have little youngins. We're gonna put them in the 4th cage right here. And we've had these little trays down here where it catches all their droppings. If we have the cart out in the garden, we'll just let it fall on the ground and they can fertilize our garden for free. And then here we got Kaylina bringing the water. Say hi, Kaylina. Yeah, she don't care. Teenagers. So today we'll be taking care of the rabbits and we'll be harvesting some tomatoes today. So I'll take you guys with us and harvesting tomatoes. So here we are. We're gonna clean their cages right now. Gotta go get the wheelbarrow. So we go take the trip over to.
So
Wait until we're done with.
basket.
Check out the fire pit we just built. We're gonna go right now to get the wheelbarrow to clean all the bunny droppings. So we're gonna go get that right now. So now we gotta clean all the rabbit poop. Yeah. Lovely. They love getting their potties clean, huh guys? We just put it into this big wheelbarrow so then we can compost it later. And then we go rinse them off. And these guys like to make a lot of poop. If you have an area where you can get rabbits and you want compost, they will make plenty for you. They make plenty of poop for you guys. Oh, this is heavy. It sucks when it rains. Yeah, when it rains, it gets really heavy. And another thing, you might want to do this twice a week, depending on how much your little guys like to poop. And then we just go and rinse these off. And that's pretty much how you clean their potties. Where we dump all our rabbit droppings. We're making a little compost pile here. We just roll it on up and tip it all over. There goes all the droppings. And there you have it. That's how you make some good quality homemade compost. Now we're going into the garden. You ready, Felicity?
My shoes.
You need your shoes?
I'm gonna go get your shoes.
Let's go get your shoes. She's gonna go get her shoes. Go get her shoes. They're off to get the shoes. They're off to see the shoes, the wonderful, wonderful shoes. Well, while the little ones are off to get the shoes, we can go in the garden and check everything out. So let's go take a look. We were just here yesterday, but let's see what changed. Well, nothing's really changed. So as you can see, my cover crop is still filling in. My overgrown over there. Let's go take a look at our daikon radish. So these little guys right here is daikon radish. They're good for tilling the soil. You can also eat them if you like. It leaves a living root in the ground, and that's how you're able to build soil and build a good soil for plants to grow in. You can also eat them if you want, or you can let them rot in place, and once they rot away, they leave those holes in there where nutrients, air, and everything else can get in there. We'll go a little more in depth with the garden today. This is supposed to be another blackberry. As you can tell, it's being overgrown. These guys over here are doing really well. I'd love to eat another one, but I told the family I let them have some since they planted it. Our willow here to help with the water issue is doing amazing. Look at that thing. It's doing amazing. And today we're going to be taking care of all the tomatoes that are here. So we're going to be harvesting all these wonderful tomatoes. Hopefully we have enough battery life to do so. But as you can tell, all these tomatoes will be harvested today, except for the green ones obviously. And we're gonna probably give them to the neighbors. We'll see. It's always good to give some of your fruit to your neighbors. They'll accept your garden more. So, you guys ready?
Nice as Celeste Big is doing. So big. Ever since I trimmed up some of the extra little suckers that were on it. It's real good.
So here we have some
The
figs.
figs on the brown turkey is looking really good.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I can't wait. I hope those turn.
And we got some more figs
So
over
we got a
here.
lot more than last year, so I'm happy.
Got some nice figs growing. And then we have a.
Don't videotape or I'm videotaping.
We have some
Looks like some birds and animals got to these a little bit.
blackberries.
We might have to cover these again.
So some blackberries.
You want some, Felicity? You gonna have some?
There you go, sweetheart.
Yummy, huh? Do you like it, Felicity? You like it?
Is it yummy? Don't pick it yet, it's not ready. We have to wait for them to be black. Okay, like this. See? You need them to be black like that. Don't eat them all.
You're like, they're all mine.
Mommy and Sissy want to try some. Don't eat them all.
No, you gotta save some.
Mommy and Sissy gotta have one. Sissy hasn't had one. And Mommy hasn't had one. You gotta share. Okay, share. Don't worry, there'll be more. See all those red ones? They'll be black probably next week. Wait for them. Wait, Felicity. Wait for them to turn black. Here, help me pick tomatoes. Oh Lord, this thing toppled right over. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's so heavy. It's so heavy. Oh my goodness. We need your help, man. Just take this back.
Yep. Hopefully we have enough on our camera so you guys can see everything. So you guys can see everything that we're doing.
Oh, baby, it's too early. You have to wait for them to turn black, baby. Oh, you put the other one that was turning black?
Where do you want to put this?
Okay, I need to stake it back to the ground and then pop it over, you know, the ground. I don't have the strength to put that in.
There you go.
No, it's just, I don't have the strength. Think it.
You just gotta smash it down. No, I don't think so. Yeah, the whole thing's broken. Yeah, the whole fence broke.
Okay, well that's gonna be a hard.
Our tomatoes are broken. What can you do?
That's so heavy and that's the whole thing over.
I know.
Well, that's okay. We got more tomatoes than we could possibly ever eat, so.
Hey Felicity, what are you doing over there?
No, don't pick any more berries.
Are you eating all the berries? You eating all the berries, sweetie? Eating all the berries? Taking our berries. Let's go see how the rest of the garden's doing while she's picking these lovely tomatoes. Let's go see how everything else is doing today. Give you an update. We still have plenty of nutsedge for those that want any. Plenty. Our sunflowers look like they're doing really good today. As you can tell. Seems like they're doing just fine. Our corn looks like we might have a light season corn. So we'll see what happens. I'm not really hopeful for this year just because we had such a late start. I know it's only been a day since the last time I posted, but I want to keep you guys updated with everything and show you guys how our garden is doing and to be patient because these type of things take patience and we're trying to go with no fertilizers or anything like that, trying to be as natural as possible, even though sometimes I would love to have some Roundup to kill all these damn weeds, but we're trying to avoid that, trying to avoid the grocery stores, trying to avoid pesticides. So it's, unless you're out here every single day dealing with these weeds, you're going to have to live with them. That's why we want to start doing cover crops, because at least we get to pick what's going to be growing like crazy. And with cover crops, we can terminate the crop and use that as good soil building for next year. Our little baby corns. I don't know if we're going to have much this year, but they're growing. We'll see how they do. And you guys saw everything else here yesterday. Nothing too fancy, just my willow. That's our property line, is that willow. Goes all the way to the front. Our bees look like they're a lot more active today. As you can see, they're out there working. The busy bees that they are. You can see they're doing their job. So we haven't had our first honey harvest yet. We had a little bit just to see how they were doing. But we won't know for sure. Maybe another couple more days or maybe a week. We'll know for sure whether or not we get some good honey this year. It is their first season, so they haven't fully established. They're doing good. They're doing really well, but we're just not sure how they're going to do over the winter. I did confirm they are the Italian bees, for those that you wanted to know. So we'll see how that goes. Hey Felicity, are you eating those blackberries? Are you eating those blackberries? Are you eating the blackberries? What are you doing? You're just looking at them, inspecting? You're inspecting them? Okay. She's eating the blackberries. Face! A person who's guilty. So, as you can see, now we got my wife and my daughter. She's trying to make her own YouTube channel too, so she's trying to film as well. But they're picking all the tomatoes. And I'd let you guys keep watching, but I'm pretty sure no one really cares to watch people pick tomatoes, so I'll get back to you guys after we're done picking tomatoes. How's the harvest going? Going good?
More than we'll ever be able to eat.
That's so.
The neighbors are gonna love us.
Right?
Yeah.
Look at all those tomatoes.
That, or they're gonna hate us because they're gonna be sick of tomatoes.
Probably. There is a girl right there who's contemplating about eating all our blackberries. Hey Felicity, what are you doing? Yeah, don't be eating our blackberries. They're not ready yet. So many tomatoes.
Yeah, we're definitely putting woods around this whole area and making this all next year. And planting rows over there. That will rotate, you know. But that way this will all hopefully be varied. I mean, we'll probably still have some donors popping up underneath, which is fine. I'm hoping that way the weeds will be easier to control on this side. And I would like to get way more fruit trees and fruit bushes. I want my blueberries and my honeyberries to take off, and we're definitely going to get more raspberries, blackberries. And the figs seem to be doing really good. I'm actually impressed how well the figs are. I might actually get some more figs even.
Yeah.
You know? Try and experiment with a couple other ones and see what happens. We'll see. But yeah, the figs are doing really well. I would like to get more pink ladies, because apparently pink ladies do really well here. And I want to get some, what else? I think I get some more pawpaws. They are the native fruit current.
Not my fault I mowed one down. I mowed a pawpaw down. I'm sorry.
We need more than one. It's okay though.
Well, when they're overgrown by weeds, you don't know which ones are which.
Very
It's a nice one. Let me see it. Oh yeah, look at that. It's a real nice one. And you can see our daughter is closing us in here.
Are you all done picking?
She's done picking.
Eat all the berries?
She's done. She's like, no one's giving me attention. He knows how to lock it too, look at that.
This garden is beautiful. This year weeds have taken over. We didn't really have a lot of time this year. We were just focused.
Yeah.
All I know is the bunnies and the groundhogs that get here probably are having a field day. Whenever they get something.
Nice little good tomato here. So what's your plan for next year then?
Like I said, wood chips. Orchard. That side, now that we have a cover crop that we can help, enrich the soil and hopefully put microbial activity back into the ground over there. And then I want to do rows, I'm probably going to let whatever donors pop back up, allow them to come back. And any herbs that pop up, I'll allow those to come back, of course.
You allow them.
Well, I'm not going to take them out of the ground. Hopefully I don't mistake them for a weed. Maybe we'll start growing. But so I would love to have like a lot of my herbs in here, like what's wrong. I just don't want to have to deal with the immense weeds that we have, but I have a feeling because that veg is so hard to like kill, we'll probably be dealing with a lot of that next year.
Yeah.
So, and the marigolds, I mean, we're going to probably have a ton of marigolds in here. Which helps with the bug problem, which is nice, and it brings beneficial bugs and everything. But yeah, it's going to be very flowerful over here. With the tree. Yeah. So, I mean, look how many marigolds popped up from last year because they spread their seeds and I didn't get to head them in time.
All the marigolds.
Lots of marigolds. And then see, my mom planted some more marigold out here, so we're going to have like a very nice variety of marigolds growing over here. But that's okay because marigold is beneficial. It keeps like the bad bugs away, And the bees don't discriminate. So.
You sure they don't?
Yeah, man, they're like pollen. It's just the bugs that want to eat things like our fruits. Those don't really like marigold.
Ah. No, now you know.
I'm never gonna pickle on these.
So when do we start destroying all these crops?
Well, yeah. That's gonna be the fun part. Usually around October.
Do we have more tomatoes?
Because September's pretty decent here for us still. It's still like a late part of the growing season. And tomatoes will produce until like the first frost. So these will just keep producing until the first frost. October starts to get pretty chilly out here. And it can even snow in the end of October. So
Yeah.
As early as the end of October. But yeah, I'd say basically until October, we can keep picking stuff as long as it's producing. And tomatoes produce forever, kind of like zucchini. So you can never run out of tomatoes and zucchini, But
We can live off of them.
pretty much, yeah. I mean, a lot of my herbs are coming to the end, but I kind of just let them do their own thing and they keep them back up here. So yay! Because I have my basil buried in here, but it's flourishing still. And I have my Thai basil, which have these beautiful flowers on them. I absolutely love this stuff. It smells amazing. We had some borage, but that's already come and gone. The bees absolutely love the borage. And then, of course, the rest this is all weeds. So, yeah, we'll be trying to stomp some of that out. I think the wood chips will help kind of control some of that.
I think so.
We'll be able to manage it better next year with wood chips. Because, I mean, if you look around where wood chips are on our property, I mean, it's kind of spotty how the weeds are. So if we really had the time to come out here and yank, we probably would have almost no weeds. Except for the nutsedge, because that stuff, you yank it, and guess what? 5 more grow in its place. Because it has these little nodules underground, and you never actually get all those out when you pull it out. So guess what? They all grow little plants. And
That's when you have to spray them.
it's the never-ending battle. And yes, you have to spray them. And we're trying to do this whole natural, organic method. So so that we're not putting all these herbicides, pesticides, all that kind of stuff in our produce, because we want to eat clean, we want to eat healthy. And unfortunately, nutsedge, well, it's just one of those things you can't kill naturally. So if you do know how, let me know, because I need that tip.
She needs that shit.
I need that tip. I need to know what kills nutsedge, is it considered organic or natural, and isn't going to be detrimental to our health. So we got out of it.
So she says.
Next year, we're probably going to have a lot more. So, that's probably going to be the only weed in our garden that we can't handle. So,
You can try vinegar.
hey,
It seemed like it did pretty
we
well.
got some strong vinegar. We'll see what happens. What, baby?
Leave this one on one side and watch the footage
Okay.
on your computer, but I don't know how.
We have a USB connection.
Plug it into the TV, Galena.
There's a little USB connection. Oh yeah.
Where's our borage?
Well, it's on the tail end of it, but here's a little bit left. These beautiful flowers right here. And apparently, you can actually produce herbal remedies with this stuff. I haven't tried it. But in some cases, people might consider it a weed, but the bees absolutely love it. I plan to plant some more of this over in the bee garden.
That'd be a good spot.
So I'm probably going to terminate this and plant a new set in the bee garden. They love it, and it grows really well without any help. So, and it produces these gorgeous flowers.
How much tomatoes we got there?
Oh my God, more than we can handle. I'm going to be washing a lot of tomatoes.
Just give it to the neighbors.
You better believe it.
If anybody's in the Cleveland area and you want some free tomatoes, be feel to come by. And nutsedge is still available.
And supposedly someone said nutsedge is edible. I have no idea how. Or
If anybody knows if nutsedge is available, edible, let us know. We'll gladly eat it.
find a way to prepare it. Thought I heard something about it being possibly edible, but I don't know. No, there you go. Beautiful baby. Yeah, and almost all these plants over here are all donors. Well, every single one of these that is donors. Because we had a very late start on our growing season, like late to end of June. So obviously it's very hard to grow anything at the end of June, because then July comes and the heat and the dryness just makes it impossible to start growing anything. So, and a lot of things grow even quicker or stunt because they don't have what they need, because it's hot and dry. So that's why our corn looks like it's pint size or midget size, whatever you want to call it. Like it's just like this off, you know. But it's already producing ears, so I doubt we're gonna have a really good corn harvest. But it was just something to try. We'll see what happens. I mean, we'll see. I mean, we really didn't have high expectations this season, just because we got such a late start. We got a late start, one, because it was one of those years where it snowed in May. May, that is our planting season. May, it snowed. And then on top of that, our old fence was a rickety little plastic thing with chicken wire and electric line. The electric line did keep out some of the animals, but when the end of the season came and the deer were foraging, they jumped over that little itsy bitsy fence and decimated what we had. Which is okay. It's okay. We share. But
They killed everything off.
But the problem is, when they forage, they don't just nip and pick a little bit here and there like the groundhog or the rabbits or the squirrels. No, no, no. They rip the whole plant out, root and all. So they kill everything you have.
Everything.
Everything. So I would not mind sharing. I wouldn't even need a fence if the deer wouldn't just absolutely rip it out of the ground. But we usually have more than we can eat ourselves, so anyway, so. But yeah, they just destroy everything they touch. Same thing with our poor trees. They got to a couple of our trees when they were weak in spring when we started planting them, and they just ripped branches off. And some of the trees we got, I'm pretty sure they just get killed. So we'll see. We'll see if anything bad bounces back next year. But luckily they didn't get to the figs because the figs were late on growing because it was cooler in the season. So during the springtime, they were still dormant while everything else was trying to open up. And so the deer didn't even notice them. And then next thing you know, they started to heat up quickly, and then figs took off from the ground. I mean, because all the old branches died off. This year it gets really cold. It was our first year. All the old branches died off. New branches emerged. And yeah, look how big these figs are in just one growing season. To the left we have I believe it's a brown turkey, I want to say. And then in the middle we have a Celeste fig. And then on the right we have a brown turkey, but that one was transplanted this past year, so this is the beginning of the season. So it's stunted, but I'm pretty sure next year it will look just like the other two. So I'm quite excited. I don't know if this is going to be something where every season, because it gets so cold, that the branches are going to die off and then reemerge next spring, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, regardless, even if this is the cycle that we have in our growing climate, they grow so quickly with the heat. It's beautiful, and they are producing figs, probably enough for us to enjoy. So I'll take it.
What about our onions?
Yeah. I didn't exactly get to harvesting those in time, so who knows what's going on in the ground. They could actually be rotting at this time, for all I know, because they did go to flower, and now I'm probably gonna have onions everywhere.
Well, pluck one out.
Probably drop the seeds everywhere, just like everything else.
Pick one out, see what happens.
I know that if you don't pluck them by the time they're growing, starting to develop their flower heads, bulbs, you know, the beautiful little globes they have on top, then it ends up eating up the root and producing the seed. And the seed we probably have all over the garden now, but the actual bulb in the ground is probably now a ball of mush at this point.
Pull it out, see what happens.
I don't even know if I can, because I have a feeling it's just going to rip off in my hand. I have to get the shovel and dig it out. Yeah, we have some seed pods. Oh yeah, it dropped its seeds. We're going to have onions all over the place next season. Because I see little bits of seeds in here, but they all opened up. I mean, I could take these and salvage these because they're ready. They've been dried out and everything. But chances are, we're going to have a giant patch of onions here next year. So, isn't that great? It just reseeds itself for you. If you don't mind it not being in a perfect bed or in a perfectly straight row, just let it go.
Let it go?
Like Elsa, yeah, this is like Frozen, let it go. And you will have endless amounts of food coming back every year.
See if you can pull one out.
That one just broke off.
Hey, looks good.
It's a little itty bitty. I mean, we can always replant it next year to make it bigger. So, I mean, yeah, we just chop it off, you know, let it dry, chop it off, clean it up, and then you can replant this bulb next year, and it will grow larger.
You see? Bring
and then
closer.
we can have that next year.
Oh yeah, look at that.
So yeah, we just let it dry out, chop off the tip there, you know, break off some of these roots because they're not going to be necessary while it's in dormant stage when we have it in the basement, chilling, literally. And next year plant in the ground, and guess what? It will double in size. And then you can just pull it right when we start to see flowers start to develop, and it should be good to eat. And you can, even though a lot of people cure their onions to store, you don't have to cure it in order to eat it. So you can literally just leave it in the ground until you're ready for it, yank it up, wash it off, prepare it, and you're good to go.
Do you have to wash it?
I would recommend washing it.
Well, pull the other ones out then.
See if I can get lucky enough to get them out.
You will.
Well, that was a decent sized one too. But like I said, once again, I mean, anything that we don't eat, we can just store it, replant it, and it will double in size. Nope, that's an itty bitty. See, it spent more of its time developing its seed, so the bulb did not develop. So in that case, like I said, we'll just plant it next year, catch it before it goes to this.
Yeah.
And it should, once we break this off, we can break it off, let it continue to grow for the season, and then yank it, and this bulb should be bigger. It should be twice in size. Yeah, I won't lie, I neglected this garden big time.
She totally neglected it.
Oh yeah.
It was like, where's mommy?
Oh yeah. So, unfortunately, this is what not to do.
Right.
Or this is what you're gonna get if you don't pay attention and be a good steward to your plants. So, but nonetheless, it's not going to be unproductive completely. It's just not going to be as productive as you'd like. But the next season, if you pay attention, will be 10 times better. So,
You can use all this leftover biomass.
I mean, and even though some of these are small, I mean, we can still use them.
Yeah.
They're still going to taste just the same. But I prefer to put them back in the ground if they're tiny and make them twice the size next year. So. And I won't lie, the flowers are absolutely gorgeous.
That's a good size one.
And they bring nice pollinators too. So yeah, that one's actually pretty good, decent size.